It applies to so many people as they make the transition from individual contributor to managing teams and then eventually to a manager of managers. I've written about this as I was making that transition 40 years ago, and I remember watching my mother as she used to run the house as I was a little boy, and she used to go behind the maid as she was sweeping and point out all the mistakes and so forth, and then she'd go and stand behind her as she was cleaning the dishes. It used to puzzle me because she couldn't let go, and therefore she never had any free time because she was constantly behind the maid. Then in 1988 I became a manager for the first time, and this was in a unionized factory in Columbus, Indiana, and the workers on the shop floor didn't exactly want to be productive. And so they would run away, they would go hide in the back, take a smoke break, or they would go hide in the men's restroom. And I would go run behind them and bang on the door. One day I realized I was doing exactly what my mother was doing. I was chasing them and micromanaging, and they were behaving like children, and I was also behaving like a juvenile. That's when I had my epiphany about letting go. And I think many people face the same dilemma, and it comes down to 2 or 3 common reasons. In my case, it was I didn't know any better way. My role model was my mother. The second is control. You simply don't believe that people will do as good a job, and so you want to micromanage. And finally, it makes you feel important and useful because nothing gets done without you. But then this is limiting because if you're doing this, you can never step up and do bigger things. I realized I need to simply start focusing on my job instead of doing other people's jobs. I think that's the trick. Once you realize that this is actually going to constrain you and keep you bogged down, you need to start focusing on your job, which as a manager is building a team, building a culture of accountability, and therefore giving people responsibility and then holding them accountable for the results, not doing their work and micromanaging and so forth. That said, it's even at 60, it's still a temptation to sometimes get into details and skip levels and so forth. So it's constantly a watch out.